GSCPL Week 3, another OU game. Zapdos lead on Snorlax. Just standard stuff. Zapdos could Thunder, Lax could Curse, Lax could Double Edge, Lax could Body Slam. We could see switches. Thunder crit is rather impactful. The Snorlax is now pressured to rest. Steelix comes in, taking advantage of the sleeping Snorlax to phase it out. No Sleep Talk is shown. Zapdos comes in, doubles to Cloyster on a potential Lax, but gets roared out. Gar's scared of EQ, goes to Cloyster, get roared out. Zapdos comes in. Vileman really wants Cloyster, and he finally does. Spikes up. Does he trade Toxics with the Cloy? No, he doesn't. Chooses to go to Golem on the Spike. T-Bolts into the Lax. We do not yet know if this is Thief. It does have Thief. And takes a hefty EQ for its troubles. Goes to Cloyster. And gets met with the Zapdos. Losing tempo there. But Golem comes in, so it's interesting he did not choose to trade Toxics with the opposing Cloyster. HP Ice doing a lot. Rapid Spin clears the spikes, but Cloy can just come in and lay them down again shortly. Vileman tries to get ahead of that, potentially, but gets met with a hefty Thunder by the opposing Zapdos. Wins the speed tie, but both trade Thunders. Vileman gets Thunder parried. Not looking good for his Zapdos. Trying to preserve it, he switches out to Snorlax, but Cloyster just comes in and gets the spikes up. Does a tiny bit to the Lax, who chooses to Curse. This is likely Curse EQ, potentially. Doesn't appear to be a Sleep Talk, so Toxic there is going to be rather useful. Barely out of 2 at KO range. Just going to choose to surf down the Lax. Alright, Watashi can do a lot of things here depending on how... I think it's unlikely that they let the Cloy go here. So Vileman could get cute and try and EQ the Licks. But he chooses to just not have any of it. And goes to his Cloy. I'm not entirely sure if... how much toxic damage did you take here? 12, 18... Yeah, okay. So if he trades for Cloy here, his Lax dies. So that makes Watashi stay in much... makes why they did that much more clear. Cloy on Cloy. Gengar gets surfed, not toxic, important. It's possible that Vileman's Cloy just doesn't have toxic, maybe? I don't know. Lax coming in, it is not a Thief Gar, but it just dies to 2 T-Bolts. Nope, barely, my apologies. Dies to T-Bolt plus Dynamic Punch. So Vileman gets a lot, kind of unlucky there. Dynamic Punch really just, as a move, is very bothersome when it hits the first time and you're not expecting it. I do like the Espeon here. Espeon looks really good right now. If it's HP Fire or Water. If it's not, then goodbye Vileman. It's not as simple as that, of course, because if Licks comes in and it is, even if it is the HP Water subset, Licks can phase it out safely. Licks can EQ through it. Zap comes into Licks, gets some healing. Has the opportunity to rest up, finds the Eggy. This is a... could be anything. Could Boom here. Could just Psychic. Chooses to go for the latter. So Vileman needs to find a way to position what looks like his best win con is the Espeon. Hoping presuming it's HP Fire. If it's HP Fire sub, this Eggy is food. If it is HP Water, this Eggy, but still sub, this Eggy is still setup bait. But if it's Growth, Morning Sun, Baton Pass, getting this Zapdos healed up with Essential. Lax comes in and rests. Also, the thief on the Lax is very, very big either way, depending on which special attacker is the win con. Gengar cannot do that one more time, but Chloe has to run away in fear of T-Bolt. Espeon is a pretty great Gengar check if it's Morning Sun. If it's not Morning Sun, those T-Bolts really get to it quickly. Goes for a growth. Gengar had to run in fear of Psychic, but it BP's to Chloe, so it is growth BP. Cloyster Surf looks like it might take a name here, except for Eggy's existence. 2-hit KOs the other Cloyster. Does he choose to stay in? Does win Speed Tie. Zapdos almost assuredly, or Gengar, much apologies. You would not go to Zapdos ever there because you miss Thunder and then you cry. T-Bolt doing not too much to Violent Zapdos, but gets boomed on. That's a pretty big turn. Espeon doesn't look like it can muscle through Lick's Eggy anytime soon. Opposing Gar gets kind of stuffed by the Licks, and Lax can rest it. Not looking too good for Vileman. Goes to the Licks, potential Rapid Spin, that's what you want, or an EQ there. Goes to Cloyster, finds Zapdos. You can't really switch in. You could try and pivot through Golem, but if he gets a call correctly, which he does, you're kind of in trouble. Espeon doesn't appear to have a sub. Ice Punch the Licks, that's what you need to be able to do. Ooh, freeze. Hold on, we might actually have a game here. You keep Ice Punching because nothing wants to take that other than maybe Lax, but Lax doesn't want to switch in with Spikes. The Thaw, though. The obligate Ice Punch gets a crit on the opposing Lax. We don't think this is Sleep Talk. Okay, it is. Makes sense given the team. Brutally destroyed by Jinx. So I don't even know why I'm just saying words and thinking afterwards. Much apologies. Double Edge into Cloy. Boom pressure exists here. But Vileman can easily just surf. Yeah, and call Watashi out for that. But Zapdos is free again here, and it takes a kill. Do you hope for Thunder Miss? You do, and you don't find it. Do you go Gengar here? Okay, I believe you're barely out of the range of one Thunder. Ice Punch does not do a lot to Zapdos, but gets another Ice Punch. Freeze. Goes to Espeon saying, I'm going to set up here, rather than choosing to push the Ice Punch locks. But that's an incredibly quick Thaw. Thunder is going to do a lot, but if it paras, no, okay. Is it Morning Sun Espeon that's going to fish? No, it's passing to the Gar. Thunder para here. Any of these Thunders, if they para, would be massive. But now Gar looks like it's in HP Ice range. It is. So it goes down without even taking out the Zapdos. Espeon's in range of Thunder. Does it have Morning Sun? It chooses not to go for that. It likely doesn't have Morning Sun. Or maybe he just was worried about... maybe he was worried about... just getting para'd, but you have to be at more health, or at least one growth, in order to take out the Lax, otherwise you get double-edged and you're done. So maybe the play there was, growth and hope for a second, like, just fish for Thunder Misses. Because if you're sub, then you beat the Yagi. If you're not, like, I'm assuming that's the last move. If you're Morning Sun, it's pretty much, you need so many growths just to be able to get through the Eggy without it booming on you. Interesting that, yeah, he probably goes to Lax, presuming that sub is a possibility, because if it subs on Eggy Boom, then Lax, then it can crit Lax and you lose. Interesting game, poor commentary. Let's move on to the next one. Or, well, rather, it'll be in the next video.